Entertainment, from social issues to lifestyles, from newsmakers to pop culture. If it's Jersey, it's on Jersey Central with Bert Barron, 732-545-9282. Or toll free at 888-545-9282.
Welcome back to Jersey Central here on the New Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. I am Bert Barron. In this half hour, we'll have our contest. Nice six-piece channel lock screwdriver set that we're going to give away, courtesy of At Home with Gary Sullivan, one of our great weekend shows here on WCTC. We'll give you the chance to win that coming up, and we'll also have our Need to Know things, some very interesting things to pass along with you coming up. Let's get right to the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline. Let's welcome in the owner of All Metals and Forge Group of New Jersey, and he's a longtime business owner here in New Jersey, more than 45 years of business experience. And we're here to talk about some things involving the middle class in the United States and here in New Jersey. So let's say hello to Lew Weiss, who was with us here this morning on WCTC. Hi, Lew. It's Bert Barron. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Bert. How are you?
I'm doing great.
It's early morning in fog up in Mahwah, New Jersey.
Yeah, here we go. We got fog all over Jersey today. But
right.
Thanks for taking some time to talk to us. I'm concerned about the middle class, Lew. My first adult job here in New Jersey, I worked for a company that made things. It was real simple. You made things, and the more you made, the more money the company made, and the more money the company made, the more money there was for you. That model seems like it has gone completely, not only here in New Jersey, but really around the country. We just don't we don't make things anymore. I don't know what we do in this country, but we don't manufacture, Lew. We don't make things anymore. What can we do to save the middle class?
Well, I think that you're partly correct. We do make things. It's just that we don't hear as much about it as we should. There's reshoring that's coming back to the States after a lot of the jobs and projects moved to Asia, China, and so on, the Philippines, Thailand. But the manufacturers here who are trying to cut costs and improve their profit picture have found that with costs and such that are going on to ship goods overseas and back, and quality issues and time and so on, that they're finding that, maybe we're not better off doing that. Maybe we're better off bringing stuff back to the United States. So there's a lot of that going on. The other issue is that a lot of the jobs are coming back to Mexico, which we're now affectionately referring to as nearshoring, where we can still get lower costs but closer vicinity of the manufacturing facilities, where American management is managing these Mexican companies. So you have a better shot at better deliveries, better quality, and American old-fashioned management.
I mean, these fancy names, nearshoring, offshoring, onshoring, we knew this was going to happen eventually, that the quality would suffer and the costs, of course, to even do business with this model would go up. It was just a matter of time, really, before people realized,
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what? We were better off just keeping the jobs here and keeping the work here.
Well, we kind of helped ourselves at that. China costs and labor costs and health costs have all gone up as a result of the fact that we sent all that business there, and people said, well, wait a minute, we ought to make more money out of this. And labor costs have gone up. The government told the public, if you want health care, start health care companies, start unions. So they followed our model, and they found that they're in the same trouble that we were in the 50s and 60s and 70s and so forth, as far as unions are concerned. But as far as the middle class manufacturer, they need to be retrained. They need to be getting into the new technology. Maybe we should be sending less kids to college. That's the parents' thing, that's pushing the kids for college. A kid comes out of college today as a social worker, he's making $30,000, $35,000, $40,000. If you send your kid to a vocational school and teach him how to be a welder, by the third year he's making $77,000. If he makes it into supervisory position in another 2 or 3 years, he's making 100 plus. So the middle class can grow by doing certain things differently than what they've done before, because that model is not working.
Understood. Well, we're speaking with Lew Weiss this morning, owner of All Metals and Forge Group of New Jersey, and we're talking about some things, offshoring, reshoring, nearshoring, which is a term I'd never heard before now, but I kind of see the concept of how that works. Talk about the manufacturing sector here in Jersey and in the United States, Lou. Are there good jobs that are going unfilled? Is this a good time to maybe get into a career where you make things and manufacturing?
Uh, yes. As a byproduct of my metals company, two years ago, we started manufacturing talk radio. And it's all about manufacturing, and it's on the internet. And we have a lot of people, it's all about manufacturing. We have a lot of people who are involved in jobs, HR, finance, marketing, and so on. And there's a lot of new technology that's coming out. The 3D printing, which has been around for 40 years, has mushroomed within the last 2, 3 years. By 2018, it's going to be 2018 is going to be an $8 billion industry. Right now, it's a $4 billion industry. So you can see that the potential growth in 3D printing, in drones, in aircraft. Aircraft is a very hot industry right now. It's our number one export. And Boeing aircraft has a backlog out 10 years. So there's a lot of people out there working, but you hear more of the negative than the positive. And a lot of that, forgive me, comes from government and media.
Right.
And the reality is not getting to the people. They've got to go out, and there's so many programs and projects that the government is doing to re-educate, retrain, so that employers can retain employees and not be so much worried about the gray hairs retiring.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they are retiring at the rate of 10,000 people a day in this country. So we're going to wind up with a job shortage. The government is messing around with XM Bank. They finally refunded it, and now they put a cap on it. So a lot of companies like GE, Caterpillar, Boeing, they've moved not jobs offshore, they've moved their companies offshore. And that's a big problem. And perhaps the government should get involved in that and be more interested in keeping the companies here, give them incentives. A lot of states around the country are doing major programs. New York State is a perfect example. They're doing major programs to give incentives to companies to move there. The Carolinas, North and South, aerospace has moved from California to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Their economy down there has grown tremendously over the last 2, 3 years. So I think that we have a situation where government and the politicians, I didn't say patriots, politicians, are caring more about the next election than actually doing things for the public. And I think a lot of that is coming out of these debates that we've been seeing.
Yeah, yep, I agree.
Serious issue.
Right,
Serious
right.
issue.
Yeah, and I have heard your program a few times, Lou, and I love catching up with you and everybody at the Broadcasters Convention in those bright yellow jackets. You can't you cannot miss the manufacturing program people there at the annual convention. So, but it's a very well done show, and I give you credit for it. But I even look at it from New Jersey. When we lose jobs, Lou, or we lose manufacturing to another state, that to me is almost just as bad because now we lost jobs in New Jersey. We hear about companies moving to Louisiana, moving to Georgia. We're losing a big car company in Bergen County for years and years and years, or moving to Georgia. I look at it as the same way. I mean, you can only give so many incentives, right, to get these companies to stay here?
Well, New Jersey is the fifth most in debt state in the country. So I'm not sure how much incentives they can give. But, when a company like Mercedes-Benz moves south and our governor let that happen,
right?
That's paramount of neglect and incompetence. There's no way that should have ever happened. And the state lost a lot of manufacturing way before Christie. And they've not been a industry or manufacturing friendly state for 20 years. It's just that it's coming out on the surface that state by state they're having these issues, and even obviously on the national level. And they're not doing anything about getting manufacturing back in. And it costs a fortune to run a company in New Jersey.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Before we wrap up, Alua, where can people go online to listen to the show that you do?
www.mfgtalkradio.com. We've got over 100 shows posted there, and we go live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Excellent. Well, good to have you on the show today. Some real good insight, Lou, and thank you for your time today. All the best to you, and happy New Year. And hopefully we could do something to save the middle class and save some jobs here in New Jersey in 2016. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Good holiday to you, and thank you for having me on the show.
All right. My pleasure. Thank you. All right. Lew Weiss.